I am George Flickinger along with Taft Price.
Hey, how's it going?
We're doing wonderful today. I'm doing well. It's been kind of interesting, kind of behind the scenes here. We've been talking about the big snowstorm and then the following cold air blast that we saw 4 years ago today. Just so many memories and so many weather facts which came out of that for us.
Yeah, I kind of wrapped up the first 10 days of the month of February there in 2011 where we saw 3 different snowstorms, and we saw at least 3 days with below zero temperatures, which was enough. But yeah, on the 10th, that's where we saw one of the coldest temperatures we've seen here in the Tulsa area.
We had to go back and look, and it was the coldest day that we'd seen in 70 years here in Tulsa. And I want to show you what we're talking about. It was 12 below zero here in Tulsa. That was back in 2011. And it was also the anniversary of the state's coldest temperatures ever recorded here.
Yeah, that's right. Up in Nowata, they dropped to minus 31 for the coldest temperature ever reported here in the state. Now, this occurred after that third snowstorm, George, where we saw almost 6 inches of snow. And up to that point, the first 9-10 days of the month of February, we picked up 22.5 inches of snow here in the Tulsa area. Very similar to what Boston's seeing with those snowstorms every 3 or 4 days. Obviously not to the same magnitude that they've seen up in the Northeast.
Yeah, that's exactly what ended up happening here. And I want to show you this picture. This is from my Facebook page. It was so cold, this is from 4 years ago today, that the skies were clear, but as this Arctic air had settled on top of us, it was kind of wringing out what there is of the moisture, and it was actually raining, if you will, ice crystals coming down from the sky, and I had never seen anything like that before. Taft, let's go on to the next picture here. We've got a few pictures to show you. I thought I actually got a chuckle out of this because when I went outside to do the live shot, it was 10 below zero, and then we turned on the lights and it actually warmed up the thermometer a bit.
Yeah, thermometer was looking for any warmth it could, no doubt about it. I think we all were at that time when all of us were standing outside reporting in this such cold weather.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the next picture. You were talking about some of those record lows. This is a map of that morning showing exactly how cold it was. And if you look closely there, that minus 31, that is in Nowata. That broke the previous state record of 27 below zero, which was set back a long time ago in Watts, Oklahoma. Also not pictured on here is Bartlesville, which made it down to 28 below. But there's also other colder temps on here.
Yeah, and you notice some of the coldest readings, George, were north and northeast of the Tulsa area. And even though we picked up about 6 inches of snow just before this, the day or two before this, in Tulsa, off to the northeast, that's where we picked up the heaviest snows. And remember, Spavinaw picked up 27 inches of snow just before this, about 24 to 36 hours before, which is the most snow that we've ever seen in Oklahoma in a 24-hour period. So once again, another one of those records falling as we move through that part of February.
And on this map, the closest temperature location-wise to Spavinaw is at Pryor, that 28 below zero. I want to show you a picture here. So many of you, so many of our viewers sent in pictures of the snow that was on the ground during this time. And I remember specifically a lot of the schools being canceled for 2 weeks here in the Tulsa area. Some locations, 3 weeks, no school.
Yeah, it was just something that we haven't seen in Tulsa in forever, really, with the amount of snowfall that we saw, and then those bitterly cold temperatures kind of adding insult to injury a little bit to this. But February of 2011, what a crazy month that was. And then just a week later after all this, George, we were in the 70s, and they were nearing 80 degrees up in Nowata just a week later. 110-degree difference in temperature in 1 week back there in 2011. Unbelievable.
I think you and I both remember making these crazy graphics about the big temperature swings. And I remember I went for a bicycle ride in Tulsa about 2 weeks after the snow, and they had those giant piles of the snow which were still in the parking lots, which seemed weird because you're looking at the thermometer, it's 70 degrees, and it still had all that snow, which hadn't melted yet. The 7-day forecast not showing anything too crazy for us, but we will be turning colder tomorrow.
Yeah, we sure will. Get out and enjoy the Tuesday weather with temperatures in the 60s because it's going to start to feel a lot more like February here for the rest of the week. Some ups and downs right now the weekend, and for Valentine's Day, looking a little bit chilly.
Yeah, we'll have a north wind and temps in the 30s and lower 40s coming up for Valentine's Day. This is one of these things I feel like we could talk and just share with our viewers a very long time. We could probably talk about 15 to 20 minutes about all that weather that we had in February 2011. At least this winter, though, the weather has been much more tame for us.
Yeah, it's been pretty benign, and we haven't seen a whole lot of snow out there. And really, looking at it, some of the mid-range doesn't look like any significant snowstorms headed eastern Oklahoma, or at least at this point.
So if you're looking for a big blizzard, it's not going to happen. At least there's nothing showing up anywhere nearby. The snow is going to stay up to our north and east, up toward Boston, where they're actually going to get more snow.
That's right.
Coming up for the weekend. So anything else?
I think that'll wrap it up.
All right. I'm George Flickinger along with Taft Price. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.